Welcome to Helen's Journey. Improve your English skills through this exciting story about Helen, an Ethiopian-American girl exploring Ethiopia and trying to find her birth family. Brought to you by the U.S. Embassy to Ethiopia. The U.S. invests in Ethiopians. Episode 25, Confessions and Realizations, Part 1. Welcome back, friends. Previously on Helen's Journey, Helen moved to Ethiopia to find her birth family, but she hasn't found anything yet. She's also been doing academic research with Khalid, but they're fighting because Khalid wants to disappear in the U.S. Now Helen is talking to Samira about some big news and big decisions. What is she telling her? Let's listen and find out.
Hey, Sammy.
Hey!
You won't believe what just happened.
What is it?
I just got a call from one of the local government agencies. They checked their records. There are some adoption cases involving the adoption agency that my parents had on file.
Oh my God, where is the agency?
In Bahir Dar.
So does that mean you were born in Bahir Dar?
Not necessarily. It just means that my adoption paperwork was processed there. I could have been born anywhere. According to my research, some children got moved around to different orphanages.
Wait, isn't your friend Alex from Bahir Dar?
Yeah, he grew up in an orphanage near there, but it burned down.
That's a weird coincidence, right? You are both orphans from the same area?
Yeah, I guess it's a little unusual.
So what now?
The agency checked all of the files that they had from that adoption agency and found 2 that matched my description. Like when I would have been adopted, my gender, etc.
But they don't have your name on file?
Well, we don't know my real name. I mean, my original name. It could have been changed in the process.
Oh, so now you have 2 leads?
Yeah. They wouldn't tell me much over the phone, so I need to go in person with an ID to make a formal request to see the files.
This is so exciting. Finally, some progress.
Yup, right at the end. I only have 2 weeks left here, and then I leave Ethiopia for the summer.
Only for the summer? So you're staying in Ethiopia for another year?
Yes, I made my decision, and I'm renewing my Fulbright scholarship. I'm going to stay for 1 more year, continue my research, continue looking for my family, continue learning about Ethiopia.
Good for you. I think it's the right decision.
I will be back in the U.S. for the summer, so after the conference in Chicago, I will go see my family in Indiana. Then I will look for a cheap flight to come see you in Philadelphia.
Yay! I can't wait to see you. Will you go to Bahir Dar now and check the files, or wait till you get back after the summer?
I think I have to wait. I am so busy the next 2 weeks packing, finishing up my projects here, getting ready for the conference. It's really crazy that I will have to wait all summer to continue my unofficial research.
That's life.
Yeah. How are things with you?
I also have some good news. I just heard back from the bank about my small business loan. They approved it.
Congratulations! That's so great.
Thank you. I am so happy. This is really happening. I am really opening a cafe.
Wow. How are you going to celebrate?
Packing up my apartment and moving back into my parents' house.
It's going to be great.
I'm a little bit embarrassed about living with my mom and dad as an adult, but it's the only way to make my cafe dreams come true. They have been really supportive of this plan.
So now you have the loan? What do you do now?
Now that the money is secured, I can move forward with signing a lease for the cafe, renovating, buying equipment, finding suppliers.
Oh, that reminds me. I have something for you. It's coffee beans from Khalid's family farm. You can practice roasting them and see if you want to source coffee from Jimma.
Awesome! Thanks! How was the farm? I'm so jealous you got to spend time on an actual coffee farm.
It was really lovely and peaceful. Khaled's family was so kind and welcoming. Things are a bit weird with Khaled right now, so that was a problem. But the farm and his family were great.
Why are things weird with Khaled?
So, I told you Zagai came to Hawassa and surprised me and Khaled.
Yeah, you sent me some messages on WhatsApp about it, but I didn't really understand what happened.
So, he offered me a searcher to help find my family. But when I told him I wasn't interested in being in a relationship with him anymore, he withdrew the offer.
Ugh, what a jerk.
You were right about him this whole time. I didn't see it until recently, but he is very controlling.
What a terrible thing to do. Very manipulative.
Yeah. And he said Khaled and Alex were lying about him having another girlfriend because Khaled is in love with me.
Whoa.
And the thing is, it's true.
How do you know it's true?
I tried to talk to Khaled about it, and he didn't want to talk. But then, finally, he admitted it. We were fighting because he got his visa to visit the U.S., and he told me that he is planning to stay in the U.S. after the conference and live with his cousin and get a job.
Wait, can he do that? Won't his visa to visit for the conference expire?
Yeah, exactly. It would be visa fraud.
That sounds serious.
Yeah, we were fighting because I told him not to do it. But I think he has made his decision.
So he admitted he loved you while you were fighting?
Sort of. He said he doesn't want to stay here another year with me doing research and watch me fall in love with someone else again.
So he has been into you this whole year while you were dating Zagai and you never knew?
No, I had no idea he felt that way.
What did you say when he told you?
He left. He just got up from the coffee place where we were talking and walked away.
And you haven't talked to him since that time?
That's why it is weird. We have talked a lot. We were in Jimma doing field work. We even visited his family in their village near there. So he has been talking to me, but it's not really the same. He won't talk about anything personal. He's polite, but distant.
Oh no, that's awkward.
Yeah. He will ask me about the research, and he will help me translate. He took me to some orphanages and made inquiries about my adoption. He's still very helpful, but he's completely different. He's not the warm, friendly Khaled from before.
Why do you think that is? Because you had a fight?
I think he is really shy about love. I don't know if he has had a girlfriend before. He seems very shy when it comes to talking about his feelings.
Maybe just give him some space. Leave him alone for a while. Maybe after some time passes, your friendship with him will go back to normal.
Samira, I'm afraid to tell you this because I know how you will react, but I don't have anyone else to talk to about it.
What is it?
I don't want things to go back to normal with Khaled.
What do you mean?
Over the last week, I realized something. I realized slowly. But now the feeling is very strong.
Oh no, Helen,
I care
please
about
don't
him as more than a
say
friend.
you like him as more than a friend.
This is different from Zagai. I have known Khaled this whole year. We've worked together closely. I know how kind and generous and caring and honest
Okay, enough. I agree. He sounds like a really wonderful guy. But you literally just broke up with someone.
I know.
So don't you think you should take a break from dating?
Yes, I'm not going to date Khaled. He's barely talking to me right now anyway. We haven't talked at all since we got back to Addis from Jimma last week.
Are you sure you really like him? Are you sure you're not just sad about Zagai and so you are transferring your feelings to the closest boy?
Yes, I'm sure. I started to realize it when he said he was going to stay in the U.S. I realized I didn't want to be so far away from him. Then we visited his family. When I saw him with his family and how he takes care of them, how kind he is to his mother, I realized even more how wonderful he is. Then this last week he has been avoiding me, and I feel like there's a hole in my life without him.
It sounds like your feelings are real. So what are you going to do?
I don't know. I think it's hopeless. He's going to stay in the U.S., and I am going to stay here in Ethiopia. I wish I had realized how we felt about each other sooner.
It's not too late.
Helen feels the same way about Khalid as he feels about her. But he's going to stay in the U.S., and she's going to stay in Ethiopia. She also finally got some information about her adoption. Will she find her family? Listen to the final episode to find out. Now for a lesson on English language. Time for vocabulary. Let's look at some words from the story. Our first vocabulary term is coincidence. Samira and Helen said,
Wait, isn't your friend Alex from Bahadar?
Yeah, he grew up in an orphanage near there, but it burned down.
That's a weird coincidence, right? You are both orphans from the same area?
Coincidence is a noun that means a situation in which events happen at the same time in a way that is not planned or expected. Alamayo is from a village near Bahadar. Helen just received information that her adoption was processed at an orphanage near Bahadar. Samira thinks this is an unusual situation because the two orphans have come from the same area. It's a coincidence. The second vocabulary word is file. Helen said,
The agency checked all of the files that they had from that adoption agency and found 2 that matched my description, like when I would have been adopted, my gender, etc.
File is a noun that in this context means a collection of documents that have information you want to keep and that is stored so that it can be found easily. The agency checked their collection of documents to search for the name of the adoption agency that Helen inquired about. They checked their files. The third term is admit. Helen said,
I tried to talk to Khalid about it, and he didn't want to talk. But then, finally, he admitted it. We were fighting because he got his visa to visit the U.S., and he told me that he is planning to stay in the U.S. after the conference and live with his cousin and get a job.
Admit is a verb that means to say, usually in an unwilling way, that something is true. Khalid was unwilling to say it was true, that he had feelings for Helen, but he eventually did say that. He admitted it. The fourth vocabulary word is lovely. Helen said,
It was really lovely and peaceful. Khalid's family was so kind and welcoming. Things are a bit weird with Khalid right now, so that was a problem. But the farm and his family were great.
Lovely is an adjective that means very good or pleasing. Helen thinks that her visit to Khalid's family farm was very good and pleasing. It was lovely. And the fifth vocabulary term is back to normal. Samira and Helen said,
Maybe just give him some space. Leave him alone for a while. Maybe after some time passes, your friendship with him will go back to normal.
Samira, I'm afraid to tell you this because I know how you will react, but I don't have anyone else to talk to about it.
What is it?
I don't want things to go back to normal with Khalid.
Back to normal is an expression that means to return to the usual condition. Helen and Khalid's friendship has been different since Khalid admitted his feelings for Helen. Samira thinks things will return to their previous condition after some time has passed. But Helen doesn't want their friendship to go back to normal. She wants a new kind of relationship with Khalid. Will she tell him? Time for expressing yourself in English. Confirming information with negative questions. Confirming information means checking information that you believe is true. One way to do that in English is to ask a question with a negative auxiliary verb. Let's listen to an example from the episode.
Wait, isn't your friend Alex from Bahadar?
Samira thinks that Alamayo is from Bahadar, so she asks a negative question to confirm the information. The auxiliary verb is negative, isn't. This shows that Samira is confirming the information more than asking for the information. Next time you want to confirm information, ask a negative question. Time for grammar. Gerunds after certain verbs. Gerunds are ing words that function as nouns. Certain verbs are always followed by nouns or gerunds. Let's listen to an example from the episode.
Yes, I made my decision and I'm renewing my Fulbright scholarship. I'm going to stay for 1 more year, continue my research, continue looking for my family, continue learning about Ethiopia.
Continue is one example of a verb that is always followed by nouns and gerunds. Helen lists the things she will continue when she comes back to Ethiopia. Her research, that's a noun. Looking for her family, that's a gerund. Learning about Ethiopia, that's another gerund. Do you know other verbs that are followed by gerunds? Time for facts on American culture and education. Living with your parents as an adult. To save money for her business, Samira is going to move back into her parents' house. It is becoming more common in the U.S. for adults to live with their parents. In the U.S., approximately 30% of young adults aged 18 to 34 years old live with their parents, according to the U.S. Census Bureau. Now, young adults are experiencing milestones later in life than previous generations. Young adults these days are getting married later, having children later, buying their own homes later than older Americans did. What about in Ethiopia? Is it common for young adults to live with their parents or find their own homes? Thank you for listening to Helen's Journey. We'll see you next time. The introduction and closing music, Blue Ska, is by Kevin MacLeod, Incompetech.com, licensed under Creative Commons.
Executive Producer, Hailu Kabada. Directors, Abdullah Birru, Antaneh Brahani. Sound and Editing, Tamrat Alamu. Narrator, Timothy Green. Casts, Theodros Tasama as Alamayo. Zarihum Brahanu as Khalid. Adana Gitacho as Zagaya.